2022 has been the year of foundation, and Makeup Forever just launched a new one. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. Now, they do have their old formulation, which I actually do like. I didn't even know that they were redoing their foundation, so I'm excited to try this. Now, the one thing I will say about Makeup Forever is I don't particularly like their shade range. I think that their undertones are not always accurate, so I may have to mix in a pigment with this foundation to get it to match me, just because I don't think that they have shades light enough for people as fair as me. But I wanted to sit down and try this new foundation out. This is supposedly a new formula, so I'm excited to see how good it looks on the skin, because the original formula looked very beautiful. It was very photogenic like. It looked so good in photos, looked so good over texture. It was one of the most popular foundations of its time, and now we have a new one out to try. So we're gonna test this out, see what we think about it. We're gonna talk about the formulation, the shades, all the things, the packaging. The packaging is really nice. And yeah, so if you guys want to hear my thoughts on this foundation, make sure you keep on watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload, and check out my social media. They are down below in the description bar. Let's jump right into this video, guys. So first I want to point out these earrings that I'm wearing. These are from Jacqueline Roxanne. These are her glamour hoop. I just got them and they are so beautiful. I've been waiting for these since like November when she first launched, and then they've been sold out and they just did a restock, so you can get your hands on these. They're so beautiful. But let's talk about the foundation now. So like I said, Makeup Forever came out with a new foundation. This is the packaging. How cute is this? It's like a very nude beige packaging. I love this color. I think it's so aesthetically pleasing. And this is called their HD Skin Undetectable Longwear Foundation. It does retail for $43, which is average price for Makeup Forever foundations. They're all in the $40 range. This does come in 40 shades, which is incredible. You guys know I am not here for brands only releasing, 12, 15 shades. Definitely, I do love to see, 25 plus if possible, even just more than 20. So 40 options for the color of this foundation is really good. This is a liquid formula. It's supposed to be a natural finish. Now, some of the reviews that I've seen, some people were saying that it's kind of more of a matte finish. I have very dry skin, so I do not prefer matte foundations. In fact, I try to stay away from them. I'm really into more glowy foundations, but I feel like people with dry skin, sometimes with natural foundations, we can kind of get away with not setting them with powder always. So I wanted to try this out because it was a natural finish. This is supposed to be waterproof, long wearing, medium coverage, and it's supposed to be best for oily, combo, or normal skin. It does not say on Sephora's website that this is for dry skin, so just be aware of that. I think it really is important how you prep your skin for makeup and how the makeup is going to wear on your skin. As you can see, I have a lot of dewiness to my skin because I use a lot of hydrating products on my skin. I will not be using a primer today. This is just my skincare products. My skin is actually doing really good, surprisingly. For the longest few weeks, I've had this dryness on my face that was so incredibly painful, which is why I didn't film, because it hurt so bad. I really contemplated going to the dermatologist, but I switched up some of my skincare products and my skin is thriving. It's doing the best that it's ever been. So now we got to put makeup on it. I'm excited to try this foundation over just my regular skincare. Normally I use a primer, but for today's video, we're not going to use any primer. So what is this foundation? On Sephora's website, it says this is an undetectable liquid foundation that blurs and covers imperfections for up to 24 hours, powered by a micro skin system that syncs with the skin for true to skin finish. So when I hear blur, I instantly think of something that's more mattifying. Usually products that are hydrating really don't give the best blurring finish, in my opinion. I tend to see that more with matter foundations, but I love hearing the word blur. It's something that will instantly get my attention, so we're gonna see if this blurs over the skin. The micro skin system, it follows your skin movement and provides immediate high correction, and it smooths your skin. So this is supposed to look very smooth over top of your skin. It has vegetable origin glycerol, I think is how you say it, in it, which helps preserve the initial moisturizing of your skin and, will help keep your skin moisturized for a 24-hour period. And then there is an ingredient in here that I do not know how to pronounce, but it helps with radiance of the complexion. So I'm excited to try this. It seems, like even though it's not meant for dry skin, they have, these kind of preservatives and ingredients in it that will kind of help with some slight radiance to the skin. So we are going to test this out. There was a clinical trial done on this as well. It says based on instrumental tests conducted on 20 people, 98% agreed that the color did not change after drying, which means that it did not oxidize. 95% agreed that the complexion looked smoother, and 94% agreed that the foundation did not crack or cling to patches throughout the day, which is promising for us dry skin people out there. So we're going to try this. 20 people in a clinical study. You guys know how I feel. I've mentioned this in other videos. Why? What's the point? If you're going to do a clinical trial, 50 plus people at least, I would think. So I don't always go by the clinical trials. That's not something that's going to make me buy a product, but it's nice that they include it, to kind of give you an idea of what other people are saying, but I wish brands would use more people. So the shade that I picked up is 1RO2. Now you can see this is like darker for me. This is not going to match me. The color that I usually picked up, it was like Y220 or 223. I think it was like the lightest Y shade, but that looked even darker than this shade in the store. So that's why I picked up this shade. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix in some white pigment and maybe even a little blue to kind of try to get it to match me a little bit. Let's talk about the packaging. This nude packaging is so beautiful. It does have a pump. I almost kind of wish the pump was nude too. I don't know. I feel like that would be cool, but I really love this color, and I love that it almost like kind of matches the foundation a little bit. This is what the foundation looks like. You have your glass bottle, so very luxurious, maybe not good for travel. If you are traveling, you want to be careful so that this doesn't break. But let's go ahead and put this on the skin. This is what my skin is looking like without any foundation on. You can see I have pores, I have, a little bit of texture here and there, and I do have, some fine lines, especially on my forehead that I've always had. So we're going to do a first impressions and see how this looks on the skin. So I'm going to start by pumping this out. You can see right here is the color. Now it's not moving at all, which means that it is thick. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some on the back of my hand just because you can see that doesn't really match me very well, and I'm going to go ahead and mix in some of this white pigment just to make it a little bit lighter. And I'm also going to go in and mix some of this blue pigment as well. The blue pigment is really going to help kind of correct the yellowness in the foundation, so it's going to make it more of a neutral undertone. So here you can see this is what the foundation looks like with a little bit of that white and blue added in. You can see over here it looks a little bit more orangey, and over here it kind of looks a little bit more neutral. So we are going to add this onto the skin, and I am going to go in with my e.l.f. camo sponge and just pounce that in. Again, I'm going in with a super light layer. Looks like it's blending in pretty well. That blended in really, really nice. You can see I have, a little bit of coverage. I didn't go in heavy at all. This is, a much lighter coverage, but we are going to build it up. I want to see, like how it builds up on the skin, but that looks really nice. It looks very natural, very skin-like. So we are going to add some more here. And I'm adding more without the white corrector in it. And we're just gonna go ahead and blend it out. I feel like off of first impressions, it looks very skin-like, almost like you're not wearing any makeup, kind of like a no makeup, but still giving you, a little bit of coverage and evening out the skin tone, which I love. What are we thinking? I think it looks really beautiful on the skin. I don't feel like it's looking very dry or very cakey whatsoever. Like, it just looks very healthy. My skin looks really plump. It still looks hydrated. Again, I did use hydrating base products, but my skin doesn't feel tight. It doesn't feel dry or anything like that. And I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna go in with even more just to build it up again some more here. This will be my third layer going in. And even with the 3 layers, I don't feel like it's becoming cakey. Wow, I'm actually really impressed. I think this looks really, really nice. It looks very natural on the skin, like it said. I can kind of see, the difference with the color, which is very common for me with the Makeup Forever foundations. All of their complexion products are way too dark for me, but I think this looks really pretty. I mean, obviously I would have to blend this down my neck, but this looks really, really, really beautiful. I'm not mad at it. I think I actually might like this a little bit more than their original that they have, just because I feel like it just looks like your skin. I feel like you can't, from afar, I feel like you might not be able to really tell that I'm wearing foundation, which I love foundations that are like that. Let me know what you guys think so far. I'm really liking it. It's not clinging to any dry spots that I might have. And I have, peach fuzz on my face, and I don't feel like it's really emphasizing that, because you know how sometimes makeup can kind of emphasize like the little hairs on your face. I don't really feel like it's emphasizing that. It looks good, around my nose here, which is nice. Yeah, so far I'm not mad at it. I am going to go ahead and apply some other products over it. I just want to see, how everything applies. For concealer, I'm going to go in with the Makeup Forever HD concealer. I really like this concealer, and we're just going to just apply a little bit. Most companies tend to make products that work well with their other products, so I do have high hopes that this concealer is going to blend really well into the foundation, and it did just that. That's looking really nice. Yeah, that looks really, really good. I am so impressed with how the skin looks. I wish that the shade was better though. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I really do wish the shade was better, but what can you do? When you're this fair, it is like, or even when you're really dark, it is so hard finding shades that match. So I completely understand how people feel. And honestly, we're just in a time frame where that just should not even be an issue. Brands should be coming out with products that are very light and also very dark, and not just everything in between. For powder, I'm going to go in with the One Size powder. I'm just going to use this to kind of set my under eyes. I don't really feel... The foundation is a little tacky, not much though, and it does transfer just a little bit, but I don't really feel like I necessarily need to set this. I'm going to go in with bronzer and blush and everything, and kind of use that to kind of set the outer perimeter of my face. So I'm going to take the One Size powder. I have the shade Fair 1, and just going to take that on my sponge here and just set the under eyes. This is a really nice powder because it's kind of like blurring a little bit. Like the under eyes, they look good. So I am going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup off camera, and then I'm going to come back to report to you guys how everything looks and how other products, blended on top of this foundation. So far, I really like it, but you can obviously see the shade difference. That's just the one thing that really bugs me about Makeup Forever. Even NARS too is the same way, where, the shades are always just too dark, but this is looking so beautiful. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish my face off camera, and then I will be right back. All right, you guys, so I am back. Let me go over what I put on my face just so that you know. Last place we left off, we went in with the Makeup Forever concealer, and we used the Patrick Star powder. I only used this under my eyes. I did not set the rest of my face. Then I went in with some cream bronzer. I used the ABH cream bronzer in the shade Amber, and I also used their blush stick in the shade Peachy Keen. I just love this shade so much. I didn't actually add any highlighter to my skin. I feel like I don't really need it. You can see I still do have kind of a glow. So I've been kind of not really wearing highlighter that much lately. For brows, I went in with the Huda Beauty brow pencil and the NYX Thick It Stick It. I've been loving this stuff. Look at my brows. They look thick and voluminous. I really, really like this stuff. It's one of my new favorites. For lashes, I just have the Rare Beauty mascara on. I've been kind of liking my natural lashes, especially with this mascara, so I haven't really been wearing false lashes that much, so this is a really good mascara if you want some length and volume and separation to your lashes. Juvia's Place bronzer here. This is the lightest one. It's just called Light for powder bronzer, and then I've been using the BH Vanilla Cream Truffle palette a lot for blush here. This is a really pretty blush palette. And then my personal favorite for lips, I went in with the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic lip liner, and then the lip shade that I'm using, it's called In Love with Olivia. It comes in this stunning packaging. Are you joking? And then here is what the shade looks like. It's a really pretty pink color. I just think it looks so good, and I don't have any lip gloss on, but you can see this lipstick has such a nice like shine to it. I love it. It's so beautiful. Back to the foundation. I think the products applied really well over the foundation. I didn't feel like anything was clinging or, you know, like picking up the foundation or breaking it apart. I think everything applied really well over top of it. There's no patchiness. Everything looks very smooth. And I really like how this foundation is looking. I feel like from afar, if I wasn't wearing, you know, blush or bronzer or even this lip, you wouldn't really be able to tell that I have that much makeup on. My skin looks very smooth. It looks very natural. I would agree with the term natural. I do think this is a natural finish. I think you can kind of play around with, you know, the type of finish that you want. Obviously, if you're going to use matte, you know, skincare and matte primers, then yes, the foundation is going to be more matte. I, of course, used all hydrating skincare and no primer, might I add, and my skin still kind of has like a little bit of a radiance coming through, which I love. So I do think you can kind of play with, you know, what kind of finish you're looking for. Even though it says on Sephora it's not for dry skin, I mean, I don't think it looks half bad on my skin. I think it looks really, really nice. You can see a little bit of settling in my fine lines up here, but you know, all foundations kind of do that to me. It's kind of inevitable for me, but I think this looks really good. I think this is going to be one of my newer favorite foundations. The only thing I will say about it is I do not like that the shade does not match me. I will say that in every video where I'm using a foundation and the foundation does not match me. It's just so hard to kind of get the correct undertone and, you know, shade for me. But honestly, it wouldn't stop me from wearing it. I would, you know, go out looking like this. I don't think it's that incredibly noticeable. I think on camera it's more noticeable than it is in person. But that's the one thing that I would say that I don't really care for is the shade. I wish that there was a shade that matched me. And every time I go onto Sephora's website and try to shade match myself, literally none of the foundations ever have shades in my range. So I'm kind of used to it by now, but I don't think it looks too terrible. On camera, it definitely looks a little bit more noticeable that it doesn't match, but in person, it's not as noticeable. But yeah, let me know if you're going to pick up this foundation. I really like it. Like, I feel like my skin looks very good. I feel like it looks natural. It is kind of undetectable, like the claim says. I'm really impressed, you know, with how it's laying on the skin. It blended over my texture very well. So I'm not mad at it. I'm glad that I picked this up, and, you know, let me know if you're going to pick this up. Let me know if you like it, if you hate it, you know, what your thoughts are, why you're getting it, why you're not getting it. I would love to hear down in the comments below. Let's have a conversation. And thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate all the love and support that I get. And yeah, let me know if you're going to be checking out this foundation. The Sephora sale is going on right now. So if you want to get this foundation, you can get, you know, based on your tier, either 10, 15, or 20% off. So now is the time to shop if you want to pick up any splurge items. Right now would be the time to do that. I think you have until April 11th. So yeah, let me know down below what you guys think. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.